We've net bought $12 billion of common stocks since the election. Now, it's in my mind which ones I pick. Now, the guys that work with me, the two fellows, they probably bought a little bit or sold a little bit too. But those are ideas that I've either come at it from a different slant in some way or whatever it may be.
Is airlines one of those?
Well, it was showing. I won't tell you anything. We're buying or selling now. It was showing on September 30th that we own some airlines, some stocks.
And so why did you do that?
Well, that I won't get into it. But it was in large part my decision.
The old joke is, as you know,
absolutely.
How do you become a millionaire? Start as a billionaire and buy an airline.
There's no question that it's been a graveyard for a lot of money.
Yeah. But transportation has been something.
Yeah, but they're not related. The railroads and the airlines are not related
at all.
They're different kinds of businesses. You can't move the track. You can move planes around, and you can't go into. I mean, airlines attract people just by there's a certain romance to it, like Hollywood does or something, and so you can actually go into the business. And more than 100 airlines have gone broke, in the last 20 or 25 years or something like that. So it's a different sort of business.
How has knowing Bill changed or influenced or enhanced your sense of the way the world works?
Well, I learned from him. I like to learn from all friends, and Bill happens to be a particularly good source. but that's the fun of having friends, Charlie. I don't think I would. It'd be hard for me to be a friend with anyone that I don't learn something from, and they'd probably get kind of bored with me, and I get bored with them. Who's that guy talking about stocks?
And Bill, what have you learned from him, being associated with him?
Well,
and sitting on his board
immense amount. He wrote an article for Fortune magazine that I read before I met him about that it's not necessarily a good idea to leave large sums to your children. So that was pretty fundamental, and I remember reading that, and I was convinced that was right, and it meant, wow, now you have to think of how to give it away. I also remember Warren showing me his calendar, and
I love this.
I had every minute packed, and I thought that was the only way you could do things. And the fact that he is so careful about his
Can I
time.
show this to the audience? Yeah.
He has days
that there's nothing on it.
That there's nothing on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm trying to show.
The best ones.
And
this is October.
It's very high tech. Be careful.
No,
you might not understand.
I'm going to hold. I'm not going to show the thing. But this is the week of April, of which there are only 3 entries for a week.
Yeah, there'll be 4 maybe by April.
File tax.
So that taught you what? Not to crowd yourself too much and give yourself time to read and think and...
Right, that you control your time, and that sitting and thinking may be a much higher priority than a normal CEO who, there's all this demand and you feel like you need to go and see all these people. It's not a proxy of your seriousness that you filled every minute in your schedule.
And people are going to want your time. And it's the only thing you can't buy. I mean, I can buy anything I want, basically, but I can't buy time.
And so to have time is the most precious thing you can have.
I better be careful with it, man. There's no way I will be able to buy more time.
And living in Omaha makes that easier.
That makes it a lot easier. I for 50, whatever it is, well, and for 54 years, I've spent 5 minutes going each way. Now, just imagine that was a half an hour each way. I know the words to a lot more songs, and that's about it.
It adds up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really adds up. No, if you're talking an hour a day difference coming and going, and that's 2.5% of the person's work week. That means 40 years. You're talking about a year.
Do you agree politically?
On almost everything. A general sense that you've got to keep the economy turning up greater output, and that you have to allocate it in a fair way. Yeah, that basic framework we see very much the same.
Do both of you believe we can achieve a 4% growth rate?
That's pretty high.
Pretty high, yeah.
But
we just, like 2016, I think the last quarter was like 1.6 or something.
Charlie, a 2% growth rate, if we have a little less than 1% population growth, which we probably will, in one generation, 25 years now, people have kids a little later, will add 19,000 per capita, family of four, 76,000 to real GDP. So there will be family of four on average, there would be 76,000 more stuff per family of four in one generation. I mean, we are going to have more, and the goose is going to keep laying more golden eggs. I mean, and we've got a wonderful system.
Well, but there are certain things that could get in the way of that.
2%? I think we'll do 2%.
Well, you'll do 2%.
Yeah, and 2% will produce miracles.